That's right. You scrapped with the wrong guy.
What's going on, my fellow Remnant 2 gamers? It's D Werewolf Gaming here, back with another Remnant 2 video. Alright guys, I want to first start off by saying I hope everybody has been doing well and enjoying this weekend. Today guys, I want to bring you a build that's just one of my favorite builds that I enjoy using on Apocalypse. Overall, I feel this is a pretty good balanced build to tackle mostly everything on Apocalypse and also anything in the open world as well, you know, on your way fighting to get to the bosses. It's one of my main builds I go to, you know, just overall, I enjoy playing with this build. It does a decent amount of damage, and you are able to get your mods back pretty quickly using this setup. Now, with this particular build, guys, I will be using the Hunter and the Challenger class. But as you can see, guys, I went for, you know, I did use the Shrouded skill on this build, but I wasn't using the Shrouded skill for the damage per se. I was using more so just as a way to, you know, kind of evade the enemies a little bit. And it's one of my favorite builds that I enjoy using on Apocalypse. I think it's just fun. And as you can see, guys, I tackled 3 bosses with this build in the video, so you do know that this build does work on Apocalypse. With that being said, now I did try this build using one other setup, and using the Hunter instead of the Challenger. And I mean, you will get bigger damage numbers, but ultimately, you know, I like a good balanced build when I'm playing games. A build that, you know, not solely just focus on damage, but has a good bit of survivability as well. And I think this build right here is the perfect balance, in my opinion. It's one that I just enjoy using, beating anything in this game. All right, so we're going to finish fighting this boss fight, guys, and then we'll go over the build breakdown and some items that you can use if you don't have all the items to make this build possible. As always, thank you for your valuable time and taking the time to watch my content. And those who have continued to support me ever since the very beginning, and those who continue to support me now. It means a lot, guys, and I really appreciate it. Alright, for the build, guys, like I said, I was using the Hunter's class as my prime, and basically Dead to Right Soldiers build. And what Dead to Right does is dealing 55 base range and weak spot damage, extends the duration of active Hunter skills by 3.5 seconds. And guys, when you use a relic, you can extend this even longer. Overall, the Hunter is just a great class for doing damage at a distance. Now, I was using the Hunter Shroud primarily, like I said, guys, just to use the invisible perk that comes with this class. But the Hunter becomes shrouded, reducing enemy awareness and making them harder to hit while moving. Attacking or activating a mod or skill will instantly exit Shroud. Exiting Shroud applies mark to all enemies within 10 meters and grants ambush to the Hunter. Ambush increases range and melee damage by 50%, which diminishes over its duration. Alright, just a great skill to use, guys, especially when you're going for those high damage builds. But like I said, I was using it more so just the invisible perk that comes with it. You know, makes the enemies harder to see and help you be able to get out of tight situations. The perk is that I got on the first perk is called Intuition. Using the relic extends the duration of any active Hunter skill by 10 seconds. The effects degrade with each subsequent use. Weak spot kills against marked enemies increase reload the next speed of use with the relic. Alright, you get urgency. Basically, firearms gain 15% reload speed and 15% increased movement speed after a kill. You know, reload speed is very important on Apocalypse, so that's amazing. Alright, you get the return to center perk. This kills due to weak spot and critical hits, increase ammo drops by 50%, and double the chance of ammo drop. So that's just great as well, guys. So, and you get Dead Eye perk. You gain 40% range damage, 15% weak spot damage, and 5% range critical chance. Alright, so the Challenger class. This time, guys, I went to Juggernaut because I wanted a little bit more survivability, but you become nearly unstoppable, gaining 3 stacks of Bulwark for 15% and Bulwark and 15% movement speed, melee, and reduce stamina cost. Increases melee damage by 50% and reduces stagger by 1. Close quarter combats is one of the perks. You grants a 35% increase to all damage to enemies within 10 meters. The damage bonus tapers off all the way off until 20 meters. Critical hit chance is increased by 10% though. You get an intimidating presence after activating the challenger skill. Enemies within 15 meters did 10% less damage for 15 seconds, with an additional 2.5% damage reduction per enemy affected, up to 10%. Get power lifter. Both the stamina cost for each weight bracket and stamina regen delay are reduced by 50%. Just amazing. So that way you can move a lot quicker and get out the way easier. And the last perk is called Face of Danger. Using the relic within 10 meters of an enemy grants 2 stacks of bulwark and 10% increased damage. So overall, guys, I think this is a pretty balanced build as far as doing decent damage and being able to stay alive. Wear whichever armor set you prefer. Now, I was using the right heart earlier on the first 2 bosses, but I think the Shield Heart worked better with the Nightweaver. And as you can see on it, guys, got 15% health mod, 20% range critical damage, and 15% weak spot. And if those you don't know, it grants a shield of 100% of max health, which lasts for 20 seconds or until you're damaged. Overall, but use whichever relic you prefer, guys. I think this worked a lot better. If you don't need that extra health, you could have easily put in something for more damage. All right, my weapon stats, I had a fire rate of 7%, critical damage of 80%, range damage of 40%, 30% weak spot damage, and 30% crit chance with a range crit of 5%. And like I said, guys, just whatever. If you didn't need the extra help, you just choose a different something to boost your damage. All right, the Nightfall was the main gun. Just enjoy using this gun for Apocalypse. But what it does is the Dreadwalker is what the perk is called. You enter the Nightmare Realm. Nightfall gains the infinite ammo and 25% increased fire rate and 10% lifesteal, and becomes fully automatic. The widow becomes significantly harder to hit while moving. But guys, just remember, you won't be able to use anything else while this skill is active, and it lasts for 10 seconds. Now, I use twisted rounds on this to apply bleed, guys, and you'll see why in a minute. But it increases range damage of this weapon to bleeding targets by 20%. This weapon's range and weak spot critical hits apply bleeding, dealing 600 damage over 10 seconds. Alright, for my melee weapon, as you see in the video, guys, I didn't even really use this melee weapon, but I did still have the Nightshade equipped. I usually don't change my melee weapon out unless I'm really going to use it a lot. And what a Nightshade can do, guys, is basically you're in the Beyond the Veil, neutral evade turns to miss, granting Nightshade 5% base damage as lifesteal for 5 seconds. And you can double that by getting the perfect dodge. And I got steadfast on it just to, I can't be erupted while I'm doing my melee attacks, and all damage taken during a charge attack is converted to gray health. Alright, the Enigma, it was amazing for this build, guys. My goal was to apply as much status effect as I can on this build to get my mod back quicker. So the Enigma, what it does is it shoots out a screen that jumps to nearby targets, dealing 30 damage, but each target it jumps to, that damage is reduced, and it also applies overload. And also I am using the faded runes just to apply a little bit more status effect, and what that does is increase critical hit chance of this weapon by 5% per unique status effect on an enemy, a max of 15% increase. This weapon's range and weak spot and range critical hits apply corrosive, doing 200 corrosive damage. So guys, I'm applying bleed, shock, and corrosive to these enemies. The whole goal is to be able to get your mods back quicker. By me using this gun and using all status effects, guys, I am able to get my mods back pretty quickly, as you see in the video with those bosses I was fighting, which just is another way to help you survive more on Apocalypse. And no matter what enemies you're fighting, you're always going to be applying some type of element, which compares very well with using the Stone of Malevolence ring, which is how I'm able to get my mod back quicker. Guys, I even tried using the ring, the other ring that you can get that reduces your fire rate but gives you your mod 50% increased mod. This gets you your mod back way faster than using that ring. So this was my preferred setup to use. Alright, so I got the Torment Fold applies bleed to the wearer, but you do get increased critical hit chance by 10% using this particular ring, which is amazing because it, overall health boosts damage. Alright, the Stone of Malevolence is what I was talking about earlier. Elemental damage generates 15% additional mod power. Every weapon I'm using, guys, is applying some sort of element, which is how I'm able to get my mod back so quickly. Just love it. I love this particular setup. Alright, so Probability Cord, it increases critical hit damage by 30%, and Zane's Malice increases weak spot damage by 30% for 7 seconds when you get all the stacks up. Alright, Nightweaver's Grudge was the amulet. You just get, guys, whenever you're bleeding, you will gain 20% critical hit chance and haste within 15 meters of any anybody suffering from a status effect, guys, you are bleeding, so you are constantly going to get that 20% flat critical hit chance and 7% haste. Now, if you don't have that, guys, you can easily equip the neck bone necklace. What it does is reduces the damage of status effect applied by the wearer by 50% and gain 25% increased damage when suffering from a status effect or a blight. And again, you're suffering from bleed, so you're going to get that reduced damage from bleed. And you're also going to get 25% increase to all damage dealt because you're constantly suffering from a status effect. So guys, just there's two options you can use, just amazing. They'll both work great on Apocalypse. So if you don't have one, just equip the other one. Let's go to the traits. Now, long shot comes automatic with the Hunter class, increases weapon ideal range by 6 meters. Strong back comes with a Challenger, increases its dodge threshold by 15. I got triage to increase my healing. Fortify, increase my armor effectiveness. I got 10 points in that. Regrowth has 10 points because I want to keep my health regenerating. Definitely going to need that with that bleed going on. Got a little bit of ammo. I got about 5 points in ammo. I got 2 points in flash caster so I can use my mods and skills faster. 10 points in vigor so I can keep my health to the max. Spirit, I got 10 points in that to get my mods back quicker. Expertise got 10 points to reduce the amount of time it takes to get my skills back. Bart skin, 10 points to reduce the damage taken by 10%. And I got 10 points in siphoning, so to grant some more life still. I got 10 points, was giving me a total of 3%. 2 points in endurance to increase my stamina, guys, and 1 point in fitness so I can invade a little bit further, which gives me a total of 3%. Overall, one of my favorite builds to use on anything on Apocalypse, guys. Thank you for watching my video. D-Werewolf out.